Hello all, and welcome to round 2 of the Cosmic Express Suncats game here. Cosmic Express with an incredible performance the first round, bringing it to 1-0 in their favor. The teams have swapped sides, and now Suncats is on ANS here, and Cosmic Express is on OSP. We are here on sticks as the teams begin deploying. Team 1 is Suncats, consisting of Colon Jack, Sunflower, 3 Cats, and Lobster. Team 2 is Cosmic Express, consisting of Highball, Quinto, Quiz, and Calmia. Will we see another very long deployment phase, like we did last time? I believe we might. Both teams perhaps strategizing pretty heavily. Team 2's deployed quite a lot of assets already here. Whereas, Suncats doesn't have a lot of stuff on the board yet. A couple stuff for A cap, I'm assuming. Looks like they're going for E here. Three Cats potentially electing to do a death ball here for the E point. We will see how that works for them. Meanwhile, Cosmic Express is dispersed pretty evenly around the map here. Quiz, looks like they're once again playing the cat fleet here. That is no surprise. Looks like we have spotter assets up here, looking at the C point. Cap ship for E, cap ship for A, and a cap ship for D. Baba was the name of the fleet carrier that Sunflower likes to run, but that was a OSP fleet. We will see what Baba is on ANS here, perhaps a levy? Looks like Suncats is committing to the death ball at E point here. All of their assets deployed in one area here with only some scattered ships to cap the points. Very interesting. We will see how that turns out for them. Meanwhile, OSP looks like they're more focused on the DC area here. Lots of assets in this area here, which is typically what you see here on sticks. Typically, the engagements happen across here to begin with. C point looks like it's going to be heavily contested by OSP here, and without any ships on ANS up there to defend, doesn't look like OSP is going to have much trouble stepping onto the C point, but we will see how that ends up. Baba is not a carrier. It is a missile Axford with a beam. Look at that. 3 Cats brings triple gun CL Whiplash. These look familiar. That one, are these just the same? No, they're not the same. That one has a comms jammer on it. I've seen more CLs here. What the fuck? Oh, all CLs. Okay. Interesting. 3 Cats with the triple CL Whiplash drive only. Looks like we have some Spyglass on some, and I saw a Parallax on the other one, I believe. Spyglass, frontline Parallax, yep. ELS 2 on one of them. Mixed loadouts, we have some Rapid Cycle Cradles on them for those rebounds there, yep. Colon Jack also has Voxels, 250 as well, only 2 of them. S3 backpacks, though, and jamming escorts with, I'm assuming, an SDM launcher, yes. A gun capper, 2 gun cappers. Alright, so a little bit of a half-cap fleet here. These are running Raider Whip, more standard drive setup, and Parallax Raider, I'm assuming, on both of them. Yep, fairly similar stuff here. VLS-3 with SGMH 300s. Alright. Lobster is also... Is this the same fleet? Lobster's running the exact same fleet that Colon Jack is running. These fleets are identical. Same names and everything. Oh, nope, almost same names. Different names for the cap ships. That's about it. Very interesting. We will see how this massed voxel strategy works. And Sunflower has the missile Axford here. Lots of S3Hs in there, and I saw some S2s on the side here. We will see how that works out for them. 2 FBAs for that beam as well is very deadly. On to OSP. Calmia has the monitor ball here. Pretty standard loadout here. Mix of plasma and 100 mil. Did not mean to click on that.
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
Only one, looks like only one C90 in the cluster, though. Also, why do I, what is happening with my camera today? No, there are two C90s, three C90s in the group here. It looks like the 100 mils have C90s and the plasmas have the 250s. Very nice to see. There we go. Now we can get to the ship I kept clicking on accidentally. Highball brought the 450 liners. Looks like they have two of them. Are they together? Technically, they're really close together. They're sticking close to this Acello here, which is probably the strategy here. Keep them safe from missiles. Also running a Bloodhound tug here with double track correlator. Very nice. And a cap ship. Quinto has the double Acello here. I recognize the names on these. It's this Acello fleet that keeps popping up, although it appears that this one is slightly different, perhaps a little bit modified from the one I'm used to. They are dispersed, one of them sticking with the liners, one of them sticking with the monitors. That is some really good protection for that front line there. And Quiz has the cap fleet. Wait, this is just one of the start fleets. Time dilation, charlatan, swindler, scoundrel. This is the starter fleet, the starter cap fleet for OSB here. Very interesting. Missile monitor to provide support. We have some MMTs here and some cap ships here. One of them already going down on the E point here as it gets... Did it get friendly fired? Or did it get missiled? I think it got missiled, right? Yeah, it got missiled. Missile's probably out from Baba here, struck the ship. Decap does not get denied, though. It manages to take the point in time. C point uncontested as OSP just walks onto it, no problem. E point not even being capped by ANS as the voxels are just rushing around the map here. Look at them go. They have already found the monitors here. What a strategy from ANS here. Missile programming from one of the voxel fleets here. It looks like Lobster is programming some S3Hs. What? This is a very interesting start to the match here as Suncats just with a very interesting strategy. Those are 6 S3Hs. Where are these going? Those are Command Seeker. They are out on the Acello here. Command's primary seekers, although this Acello has not been target locked. Will those seekers be accurate enough? Doesn't look like it. Perhaps looks like those are relying on a spyglass track. Nope. Will they be enough? The Acello goes bow on. The Auroras start firing. Target does get locked, although the Aurora's battle shore to clean up the missiles quite nicely. Bunch of 250 AP starts going into this first monitor here. That is a lot of firepower out from ANS here. Although they have abandoned literally the entire map to do this push around the corner here. We will see how that works out for them. Illuminators come out from the Acello here, countering the jamming set forth by the Acellos here, not Acellos, voxels, as they do start getting locked by the Acello. The Acello diving down into the center of the monitor ball, realizing that these voxels do have missiles, trying their best to support the voxels by defending them against missiles. The Acellos are in plasma range as plasma starts going out onto these things. They are orbit dodging quite effectively here, not taking a whole lot of damage so far, but as the range starts to decrease here, they're going to start taking some damage, and it will start adding up. Voxels have insane damage output, but once they start taking fire, they do not hold up that long at all. ANS electing to swap fire to the Acello. Lots of 250 AP starts going into this thing, although most of it bouncing off the angled armor here. Over on the other side here, Quiz's MMT engages Lobster's Cringe Capper here with missiles. No defenses on the Cringe Capper as all of those missiles are going to hit. And that is a dead Sprinter. Did that missile phase through this thing? No, it just missed. Interesting. Sunflower hasn't fired off a lot of their missiles yet, perhaps waiting for an opportunity. Although both frontline fleets that OSP brought are pretty well protected by those Acellos. Another salvo of the S3Hs go out onto the monitors. The Acela, though, is still in... The Auroras are still in range here. And they do start firing at those S3Hs, picking them off one by one. Aurora's very effective against hybrid missiles, taking them out before they reach the target. The Voxels do manage to defang one of the monitors already. This was one of the C-90 autogun ones. Missiles out from Baba here. These are S2H, HEKP. It looks like one of them running into a rock, unfortunately. So only one of them goes through. This is an ACT ARAD Val. Unfortunately, I do still believe that this Acelo is in range to protect the monitors from the strike there. Colin Jack's Voxels start pushing around the corner here. As that is an insane amount of 250 going into these ships here. The Auroras, yep, they were in range. Do make short work of that missile there. Eyeballs 450 liners redeploying from this side of the map, recognizing that there is a massive push on this side. Start getting long-range 450 fire into these Voxels here. Although at this range, that is probably not going to do a whole lot. And still electing to go after this Acelo here. Not doing a whole lot of damage. You can see that the armor is protecting this thing quite nicely. It is starting to take a little bit of damage, but most of the shells are just ricocheting off this thing's angled armor. The Voxels still relatively healthy here. One of them taking a little bit of damage, although nothing really important has been knocked out so far. As this one starts withdrawing, as the fire goes to the other Voxels, allowing it to start repairing. Another salvo out from Baba. These are all S2H HEKP. They are out into this MMT. Okay. Very interesting strike here. Will these find it? Does not look like their cones are wide enough, as that is a lot of wasted points of S2 HEKP that just completely missed the target there. S3H, mixture of S2 and S3s out. Some HEKP, some HE impact out on the monitor ball here. Were those missiles fired at Baba? Baba is detected. This NMT has found the missile ship here. Although I believe this missile ship does have some point defense on it that it can use to deal with incoming missiles. Yes, it does. So it should be okay. Or not. Quiz firing a massive strike of missiles from time dilation out on this Axford here. Two missile strikes simultaneously happening. It looks like Babas are going to get intercepted here as Sunflower once again fires their missiles way too close to this Acelo's point defense range, as the Auroras just clean up the missiles very, very effectively. This Acelo, a massive force multiplier for this monitor ball here. Oh, the second one has joined the area too. There are now two Acelos on this monitor ball here, as yeah, missiles are pretty much not going to be an option anymore. Baba needs to MCOM. Those are ARAD seekers on those missiles, and Wake Val. Will the defenders be enough? Looks like it. The Chavin defenders defending the Axford quite well here. Three Cats losing the first of their Voxels here as it starts taking heavy fire. The Voxels not doing a whole lot of damage, firing into the two ships that OSP has that you do not want to be engaging in Voxels. Rather unfortunate scenario for ANS to run into here. The 250 AP doing pretty much no damage to these Acelos here. The monitors have been kind of pushed out of the map, though. OSP securing the A point. Quiz gets a gun shuttle onto the A point here. Completely under the nose of the missile Axford and this other sprinter here. Missiles out on this random sprinter at C point, perhaps the one looking to contest the point. The defender is an arc of those missiles, though, so it probably will shoot them down. Where are those missiles coming from anyway? There they are. Oh, nope, they're going to rock BD. Sprinter gets behind the rock before those missiles get there. Salvo out from the Axford. These are S3Hs out on the ship capping No, they're not on the ship capping the point. They're on this random MMT here. No response into this cap ship taking the A point, as it looks like OSP is going to secure the point here. Follow-up salvo from the monitor onto the Axford here.
The enemy is securing zone.
Will these missiles land?
The enemy is securing zone A.
Chaff goes out from the Axford. Chaff confusing most of the salvo as it looks like the defenders are going to clean up the rest of it. Another successful defense from the Axford. The Voxels here still engaging OSP's front line. 450 liners have moved in and are starting to get crossfires on these very vulnerable ships. That is not what you want to see out of ANS here, as ANS is 2 Voxels down. ANS still electing to put fire into these Acellos here, doing minimal damage to them. The armor on them just eating all of the damage. Beam out from the Axford onto the ship that camped the A point. No target lock, so the beam mostly misses. The Axford starts moving back up to resecure the A point. Missiles out onto the D point, looking to finish off Swindler here, but it gets RPF'd by the Sprinter here. And it looks like ANS is going to be able to secure the D point here. Eyeballs 450 liner pouncing on the Voxels here. These Voxels do not want to be taking this fight here. They have been matched against like the 3 ships that OSP can bring that you do not want to be fighting if you're in Voxels. As one of 3 cats, yeah, the entire top section here just gets shaved off by the 450 fire. Quiz with really good plays from this this missile monitor here, picking off these various sprinters that ANS has around the map, making sure that the points stay in their hands.
The enemy is securing zone Atlas.
Atlas being resecured by ANS here as one of Lobster's Voxels withdraws from the frontline engagement to step back onto the point. Missiles out into the already very dead. Those were HEKP out into this already dead Sprinter here. Or shuttle. That is not what you want to see out of missiles. It's like the last 2, however, I think they're gonna find this this tugboat up here. Nope, they're gonna get shot down before they can reach. Nope. Oh, one of them gets shot down. The other one runs out of range. Voxels trading fire with the liners. These are a much better target for the Voxels to be firing at, but unfortunately, the amount of firing going back into them is just... I think it's too much for them to handle, as you can start to see as they start dropping here.
Secured zone Atlas.
More missiles out from Quiz. Half going for the Axford, half going for the Voxel, although the combined point defense net of the 2 ships is able to shoot most of them down. D point is going to ANS here, as OSP does not have anything immediately in the area to counter it, although there are some gun cappers and also Quiz's missile monitor here. Yep, speaking of which, those missiles I'm assuming are out on the capper on the D point. Yep. Capship does not have its defender in arc. The drive is on, so that wake valve will validate on the ship. Or not, or they'll just go for the chaff. Sure. D-point being contested at the last second, though, by one of Quiz's gunships here, as it starts trading fire with the Sprinter. Sunflower still trying to get missile strikes onto these monitors here, although these Ocellos have been proving incredibly effective at dealing with those missile strikes. Quinto does lose the gun on the bottom of this Ocello here, although with 4 restores they can bring that back really quickly here. The Voxels are just being picked off one by one as they are pinned to this corner of the map, unable to really damage the front line at all. Highball's taking some damage to one of their liners, and Calmi has 2 damaged bricks, but that's about it.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
A back cap from OSP here as they secure E right under the nose of the Voxels.
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
That is 5 kilometers away from the closest Voxel here. So yeah, the Voxel already starting to turn its guns to deny the cap here. Will it be enough, though? Looks like I'm assuming that was a follow-up missile strike from the monitor here. Putting the D cap firmly in OSP's hands here. C cap is firmly in their hands as well. The only point that ANS is really holding on to is A here. Although the Voxel moving on to the D point here, along with the Axford, could be able to recap it there.
Secured zone eclipse.
OSP's front line is just free to mop up the remaining Voxels over here, as it looks like there's only 2 left. 3Cats is the only one that has... Oh no, Colin Jack has a functional Voxel over here as well, but it is being crossfired by the 450 liner right now. The Voxel push not working to ANS's favor here, as they just get pinned down here and picked apart by frontline that they do not want to be engaging. As it looks like ANS here recognizing that they are not going to be able to change the script on this match. Looks like they're calling GG. They are completely bled of assets. The missile Axford unable to really get the missile strikes it needs into the front line. The Voxel is unable to damage the front line much at all. As even the liner that they did damage is still able to restore everything and get things back functional just fine. Another instance of how effective Ocellos are at defending other OSP frontline fleets. You put an Ocello next to some liners or next to a monitor ball, and becomes exponentially more difficult for missile strikes to work against the front line. As yeah, the rest of these Voxels are just going to be picked apart here. Sunflower is completely out of missiles on their Axford here, too. Most of them shot down by the Ocellos. Yeah, perhaps not the right pen aids on those missiles. If you want to get through a Ocello point defense, like Flynn said, you do need decoys and BSSJ to really get through them.
The enemy is securing zone
Although
eclipse.
D and E being secured by ANS here. E being secured by this crippled Voxel that's about to die, so probably not going to be able to get the point. D, however, is probably going to go off here, as there is an Axford and a Voxel taking it. Although, with how limited ANS's assets are right now, I have a feeling that this cap lead is not going to be a permanent thing. Yeah, this poor Voxel's just gonna go down here. That's too much fire for it to survive. Yep, there it goes. As the E-cap remains in OSP's hands. Lobster's last remaining Voxel starts taking fire from Highball's 450 aligners and one of the Ocellos here.
The enemy securing zone dagger.
This Acello here is broadside, so might start taking damage from the voxel here, although I do not think it's going to be enough to really matter. Lobster using the radar whip to orbit dodge here, changing their direction constantly so that the shells miss. Although that being said, the other 450 liner has found it the target. 100 mil and 450 is going to come down range here and smash up this voxel pretty badly. See, it's trying to get to cover here, but those shells are already hitting. That's going to hurt a lot. Already losing one of the guns. Dagger being resecured by Scoundrel, who is still alive on the point. Baba stepping off the point. Sunflower abandoning the point and allowing it to fall back into the hands of OSP here. Opting to fly forward and engage the liners, although it looks like they are turning around to get back onto the point. Although they're going to be vulnerable and broadside to the 450 liners if they decide to swap fire to the Axford, which it looks like they are doing. 450 HE into the side of this Axford here is going to hurt a lot. The beam too late to deny the D recap, as unfortunately, yeah, OSP gets back to a 4 cap there. The only 2 assets that ANS has left are this Axford and this voxel here, which are completely pinned on this side of the map. There is far too much frontline for them to deal with, and yeah, unfortunately, it looks like, unfortunately for Suncats, it looks like Cosmic Express is going to take this one. Two remaining ships doing their best to try and support each other against the overwhelming odds that OSP has. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough. Those 450 liners are going to finish off this Axford pretty quickly here. Beam does go out from the Axford, although it misses entirely. That is not what you want to see. Target is locked. I'm not entirely sure why that beam missed. Perhaps the Axford was rolling too aggressively and the beam didn't have any mount gyros. Oh no, no mount gyros on that beam. Yeah, I believe the Axford was rolling too quick for the beam to traverse. Yeah, that is 450 HE into the soft underbelly of this Axford here. It is not going to be surviving for much longer. Pretend it was the best of one and only the first game happened. If it was best of one and only the first game happened, then you still would have lost. Like, I don't know what your argument is. I guess the argument is that they did better the first round. And so it would look better on them. Yeah, as Lobster's Voxel here, completely cored by the 450 liners. The Axford taking a lot of fire here. Not a lot of teams to restore the things here. As it looks like Suncats is going to fight this out to the bitter end. Very, very noble of them. All the points that ANS once had are being resecured by OSP just to ensure the win for Cosmic Express here. Those liners, yeah, they're gonna finish off the rest of ships here. Supporting fire from Quintos, Acellos here are going to make sure that this Axford is not going to be able to get back up. Beam being repaired as it rushes into the liners, although... Where's that last restore being held? Reinforced locker. Okay, it might survive. Although, if the beam gets restored, it's going to get knocked out pretty much immediately, just due to how much fire is coming into this Axford.
Zone atlas.
That being said, Cosmic Express is just going to win on points here with the 4-cap ticking up faster than the ships can be killed on ANS. As with that, it is now 2-0 in favor of Cosmic Express as they will be moving on in the tournament. Very, very excellent performance from them both matches. And we are heading over to Peanut Gallery to do some debriefing.
I forgot to record the first game. Ah!
Unfortunate. I recorded the first game.
Wait, are we going back to...
I don't know.
We're doing debriefing. We're doing debriefing here, and then we're going to head back over to the event stage.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey,
Good practice games. Good practice game. Everyone ready for the real tournament?
The
Everyone ready?
the real tournament.
We finally finished sharpening our claws. We're ready for round 2.
Hello.
All right.
How do you do?
Hello.
Hello?
So
I'm doing very good.
So two very interesting matches there. Suncats had some very strange strategies both times, electing to bring the double fleet carrier the first time and then all voxels the second time. What exactly was the plan there? I want to know.
Yeah, I would
Well,
like
for
to
several
talk,
weeks.
It was.
Oh yeah,
It was.
you go first.
Can I take point on
okay.
this?
Yeah, you can go first.
So for several weeks we've been talking out like fleet compositions and strategies and plans, and then I started saying the phrase "we should just be ourselves" over and over and over again. So instead of going for convention, we went for flair.
We went for
I
ourselves.
see. Okay.
I'm
We're
We're going
not-
for hearts and minds here.
So you
Yeah.
brought the flare on the match point for the enemy game.
It
I think
was
some of the LS launches.
Flair.
have flair, too.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Our actual strategy was I made the call. I was like, I don't believe we can beat them if we played normally.
Nah.
We have to throw them
Okay.
off in some way. Like we have to do something different that's
I see.
unexpected.
I mean, the first round was like really close. Like you guys almost had them. You unfortunately, Cosmic Express just brought so many fucking SDMs and all of their ships that you guys were just out of bombers when it really mattered.
Yeah, we forgot
mean-
to escort our bombers.
we called Sunflower Girl bringing carrier the
We
first
were not
game.
expecting double carriers, though we were being
Nobody could
called
predict
and
that.
everything was fine.
Right.
No.
Both matches, both teams, both times when each team had OSP, they elected to use the Acello to escort the monitors or other frontline. Very nice to see that. Very effective both times too. In the
Very conventional.
It's
Very conventional.
it's a strategy that I love to see because it's such a big force multiplier for monitors or liners, right? If you have an Acello next to you. And you can see there on the second round in particular, Sunny was just completely unable to get good missile strikes into the monitors for like the entire game because the Acellos were just right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about the second
Me-
game.
Love me Auroras.
I don't want to talk about it, and I blame Lobster. I'm putting the blame on someone else other than me.
I
see.
can
Sounds
disagree.
good.
We're strong enough for it.
Yeah.
I think we won the second game actually.
Would
For
you
sure.
rather take the blame or double it and give it to the next person?
That's true.
The,
I want to
uh,
pass
double it
off to all
and
of
give
the
it
all
to
of the fans in the
Basketball.
Twitch chat that I'm sure were there.
yeah.
I would
I
like
mean
to
the all
shout out the.
the all voxel
Yeah.
strategy. I mean, it could have worked. Unfortunately, the two fleets that you encountered first on the enemy just so happened to be the monitors and the Acellos. like the two fleets that you didn't want to be fighting in Voxels.
Honestly,
I mean, to be
I think we
fair,
did pretty well. I hit 9
every-
missiles. That's like a pretty good ratio.
Right. I mean, you guys were firing. You
Honestly-
guys were firing at the Acellos for quite a while, but you were just doing no damage into them at all.
I'm
Yeah,
I was just
surprised
out
about that,
thanking you.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you'd shoot up my nose really good, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel
No,
like
that's-
Voxels just aren't good in this type of tournament setting.
If you
They're
guys,
just not great.
when you guys focused fire on the monitors, you were actually defanging them pretty quickly. Like,
Yeah, no, there was a moment of fear, but I managed
Right.
to stand back up.
but yeah, no, and then they swapped fire to the Acellos, and the Acellos just kind of absorbed the damage.
We had 3 fleets of Vauxhalls, and we did no damage to really anything.
I am surprised at that because we were shooting a lot of things like.
I'm surprised the monitors are just fine. That
No, the front fell off the cart. I had to spend all of its restores and only got 33 or 66% of its guns back up. You were doing damage. It's just CLs cannot kill monitors very quickly.
5 gray Vauxhalls.
These things
No,
happen.
and I also noticed that your team didn't bring any sort of comms jamming, and it's hard if there's a Cellos on the field, right?
No.
I
Mhm.
don't really know what it does.
I had comp jamming.
It can be really good for like isolating
No, you
walkers
didn't.
in particular.
Well,
Because like, if you comms jam the thing that's firing at you and the thing that's firing at you is not an Acello, it cannot. Or wait, no, sorry.
Well,
never
no,
mind.
it's
Pretty much.
we were spread out enough. We probably could have punched comms through with how many
True,
SLOs we
true.
had.
yeah, that we were considering it, but that was kind of the worry that Styx is a fairly small map, and so the chances of Acellos just ruining our lives was pretty high. And on top of that, it's a pretty strong investment to begin with, and because we had a backline fleet, so the CLs had to multitask as caps, we just gambled on not bringing it. And you know what? I don't know if that was the right decision, but I don't know if it was the wrong one either.
Yeah, I think it's if the Acello is close enough to the fleet that it's supporting that you can catch them all in the cone. It doesn't matter how strong the Acello's antenna is; none of them can hear each other.
Yeah.
But that is the gamble, right? Is if the Acello is just a little bit outside of it, it's not doing anything.
But what if there was a
Right.
second fellow?
And that's the real problem. is We had
Yeah.
that second SLO.
Mm-hmm.
No, unfortunately, CL's like proving quite useful during the Gold Rush match, where you just have the flexibility to split them up and guard points from light assets extremely efficiently.
Right.
But a full comp of CLs just really struggles to actually put the fire on.
Yeah, and back to the first match, another thing that we noticed is that despite only having really one frontline fleet on OSP, you guys like rushed it into over the A point like really quickly in that match.
We realized that all the enemy was. Oh, sorry. Sorry, that wasn't me playing OSP that round.
No, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
Uh,
who played OSP the first round.
Suncats did.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
neither.
Oh,
Oh,
we don't know. We don't know. I see. Okay. Yeah, no, they put the
Yeah, that was
whoever
are you
played
people?
OSP the first time, whoever they are, they shall remain unnamed. They rushed the Acellos, not the Acellos, the monitors guarded by the Acello onto like the A point over the A point like really early on, despite having only one frontline fleet. I feel like that was
Yeah.
probably a little bit of a
I
misplay
Don't
there.
know. It was a difficult call, and but I'm not sure it worked out too poorly at the end.
It
I
didn't.
mean,
No.
obviously we lost,
Once
but
you guys got behind the
yeah.
rocks and the carrier started getting strikes in on priority targets, like you got the 5 cap near the end, and suddenly the script almost changed completely on that first round.
the logic was that we didn't want to just let the Axfords and Solomons shoot at us from long range because the firepower of the monitors really depends on getting relatively close.
Fair.
So we had
we
to
also
try
wanted-
and reposition to a piece of cover that was closer to where the frontline fight was happening.
I see.
Yeah,
No,
and-
that's fair, I suppose.
The monitors were also designated dyers. We were just buying time for the carriers to get good strikes.
Mhm.
So just getting the vision, getting the space for the carriers to do what they needed to do.
Yeah, that's a pretty overwhelming investment in carriers. Like, really, we only had, like, aside from the CL fleet, there were 3 capital ships on that map, and that would have, if we had lost just one more expert of the battleship, that match would have gone very differently.
Yeah, there were a
Yeah.
couple. There was a moment there where there was a CL on. I think it was the C point, and I was commenting on if that CL went down because there was a shuttle in the area. If that CL went down, then it would have been an OSP victory. But unfortunately, the carrier didn't land the strike.
Oh,
Even
like,
if the
we said
carrier had
this
landed the
Tuesday.
strike, though, like, that shuttle had already had fire on the back. The CL was backing up to take that shuttle under fire, so that even
That
if
is
it got
true, yeah.
rocketed, it would have still been able to, like, there would have been nothing there to cap the point.
Yeah,
I got
that
Really,
is
Sunny
very
said
true.
that though. After the missing, it's like, oh, that's the game. That's it. That's over.
Mhm.
It was close. It was that close.
It was a very close one, the first round. Yeah.
That was a great
Mhm.
match.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
glad
then
I
last
dodged
year.
that strike.
Anyway,